Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is some quick and easy farmhouse DIYs on a budget. Let's get started. I've got this rectangular plastic tray from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to start by putting some little feet on it. I'm just going to use some wood beads. There's lots of different things you could use for the feet, but I had some pretty good sized beads and decided to go with it. I'm just using hot glue, but feel free to use like an E6000 or super glue gel if you want a more secure glue. I left this in here because I don't know why. I guess I was afraid of burning myself and I dropped it and I was trying to wipe off all of the glue and apply more, and then I dropped it again. I was like, oh my word. But we got it on there. Just make sure to press them down. Give the glue just a second to, solidify before you let go so that you have a nice tight bond. But like I said, feel free to use another glue if you're looking to make sure something is, going to hold it even better. But I'm not too worried. See, look, it dropped it again, third time. Oh my goodness, I struggled. I don't know why I was on the bus, but we got it done. So we got our feet on here. And I wasn't sure. I originally wanted to spray paint, but I didn't have time to spray paint. So I thought maybe a layer of Mod Podge on the top because it was like a glossy coating that maybe that would help. And I'm going to show you in a minute. I don't know if the Mod Podge was the problem or if it was just a surface I was painting on. But luckily, I was going for farmhouse rustic look here, so it all worked out. But we're going to give this a good coat of Mod Podge. I pulled out my satin Mod Podge because I didn't care what the finish was because we're going to be painting over this. So once this is all dry, we're going to go into my Waverly chalk paint in the color, I think it's Snow White, whatever their white is, but it's a white. And I'm making sure I go like both ways to get all those little beads on the edge like fully covered, and then I kind of smooth it out to make sure there's no globs so that it dries nice and smooth. Now I did 2 coats of paint here on the top and I let it dry naturally. I didn't want to use the heat gun because I didn't want to add any crackle, but it did end up crackling on its own. I'll show you that in just a second. But I do 2 coats on the top and I also did 2 coats on the bottom. This has a slightly different finish, so I didn't do the Mod Podge down here, and I just painted over the feet as well. But spray paint would have been my first choice, but I was kind of running out of time. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out so much and it lets me know you like what you're seeing. So here's what happened with this. It just got all this crackle, but I was like, well, thankfully I like farmhouse. So I'm just going to leave the crackle. And I was going to go with a stencil brush with some brown paint I mixed up. And we're going to highlight all of those little ridges. And then I'm going to go across the whole thing very lightly. A dry brush means you put a little bit of paint on and then wipe off most of it. And this also helped bring out the little crackling. I'm not sure if it was the surface I painted on or the Mod Podge, even though I've done that before to add the crackling. I don't know, but we're just going to go with it. I ended up liking the look, so it did not really matter. And then I'm going to seal that in with some Mod Podge. I'm using a matte finish here just because that's what I wanted my end finish to be. But there's lots of different options out there. I'm going to give that a coat on the top. Once that dried, I flipped it over and did it on the bottom. I did let it dry because Mod Podge will be tacky until it dries, and I didn't want to peel anything off. So then my head got in the way, and we're moving on. So this is how this one came out. I'm going to show you it styled in just a second. But it was a very fun piece to do, and it'd be a great thing to display other decor on. For this DIY, we're going to be using the wood cube blocks from the Dollar Tree. Now, they do come in a natural wood. I had previously painted these, but I'm going to paint them again. So we're going to give 2 of them some coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color white. And if you wanted to, you could leave some of them in the natural wood color. But because I had previously used these, I did not have any in the natural wood color. So I'm going to give all 6 sides a coat or 2 of Waverly chalk paint in white. And then once again, if you've been watching my videos recently, I've been trying to use up what paints I have by just mixing paints to get a color I liked. So I use a light brown, a darker brown, and a little bit of white to make this color that we have here. And I'm going to paint 2 of our blocks in this color as well. And once again, I did, I think, 2 coats on the whole thing. So all four sides, and then the top and the bottom. And then I went into my stash. I originally thought I had a different sticker to use, but I didn't have the right letters. So I pulled out H, M, and E. I just placed them on some wax paper because I didn't want to get paint on the other stickers around them. And I did one of them with the brown paint and two of them with the white paint. I did use my heat gun to dry that on a low temp. And I did ended up doing about 3 coats on this because they had the black outline on them. These stickers are from the Dollar Tree. I have painted stickers many times, and it's very handy to just know that you can paint stickers if you were not aware of that. A great way to get something in the colors that you want them to be. All right, moving back to the wood blocks. They are dry now, so I'm going to distress them a little bit. I'm going to mainly just do the edges and the corners. When I distressed the white ones, because they had already previously been white, the sanding didn't reveal as much as the brown ones or the tan ones, whatever. But if I just painted over the wood color would have come out here, but that's okay. We're gonna sand it, rough it up, distress it a little bit, just because that is the look that I like. And then we're going to start applying our stickers. And I decided to use some Mod Podge just to help them stick a little bit because of this whole process. I was gonna be handling them and some of the sticky might come off, so anyway, so here's what happens sometimes when you paint the stickers. There's a little bit of paint hanging over the edges. So I'm just gently with the edge of my fingernail or the end of a paintbrush or a little metal piece, whatever you've got, to just kind of tap off the excess paint. And then I'm just going to put some Mod Podge down to help get a better, it to stick a little bit better. And then I went over a top coat, which I wanted to do, but I should have waited and just pressed these down more to get all of the air bubbles out. I made it work, but I would recommend just pressing them down really good, giving them a minute to kind of stick down, and then go over with the Mod Podge just to seal it in and seal in that paint that is on top of the stickers. And I'm just lining my blacks up next to each other to make sure that they are, fairly even, fairly, straight across. I apologize if you can hear some background noise. My neighbor has been mowing for like at least an hour or two. So that is happening, and my husband is upstairs working on music. Okay, for the O of this, I'm going to be using these burlap flower stickers. They're just showing you, there's 2 different kinds from Dollar Tree. They come with this little white sticky dot on the back, but that just kind of came off easily. So I hot glued it, but I apparently wasn't recording, so I was just kind of showing you all of that. And then I thought it'd be nice to kind of highlight the center of the flower. So I went in with some white paint and just carefully painted over the center of the flower. And that is it for this one. I love how this came out. It's a little bit of a shadow there. I was having a little trouble with my lighting, but let me know what you think of this one. Of course, you can do more colors if you wanted, but for this DIY, I wanted to go more neutral. For this DIY, we're going to use some more Dollar Tree items. This little chalkboard house from Dollar Tree, and these wood sticker letters were from Dollar Tree. You can get these at other craft stores as well. I've only seen these like once, but I snagged them up when I had them, and the only ones I had left were hello and sunshine. And I was like, well, hello, sunshine. That's cute. I like that. So I'm just going to give them a coat of paint. I'm once again using white just because I wanted to have some more contrast in this DIY. So I'm trying to not go, my head gets in the way always, but I'm trying to not go too heavy with the paint because I didn't want paint kind of gathering in all of the little grooves, but I will show you what to do if that happens, because it did happen just a little bit for me. But they are a sticker, so they're staying in place, and I'm just lightly going over them with our white paint. I only did 1 coat. It took the paint really well because they're wood. So we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to put together our little sign. I decided to do my floral arrangement first because I was trying to figure out the placement for my words. So I wanted to put some greenery. So I'm just cutting down scraps. I have bags of just scraps of greenery, and I just save them for my crafting because sometimes you just need a little bit. So I'm using some hot glue to attach down a couple pieces of this greenery. I don't know where it's from. Most of my greenery is either from Walmart or Dollar Tree. It could be from something else, I don't know, but a lot of it is usually from Dollar Tree. So we're just going to add on a couple of little pieces here. And then I have this bow. This is a raffia bow, which you could easily make yourself. This I had from a pack I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and it originally came with a little button on it, but it had fallen off of this one. but we're going to add our own. I have a little container of buttons from the Dollar Tree, and they are mostly black, but there's some brown ones. And I just kind of went through them all to find, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a bigger one, a little one, a black one, a brown one. Anyways, I went through until I found one that I liked that kind of hit the spot for me. And I just thought that would be a fun little extra detail. So once again, with some hot glue, and really hold these down for the greenery, the bow, hold them down until the glue starts to set so it doesn't just pop it back up. As I'm holding it down, I'm picking off all of the hot glue strings, trimming off little straggler pieces and whatnot, but hold that down real good. And then for the little words here, there was a couple little places where some paint had kind of gathered, and I'm just showing you, I'm using just my little pointy tool here. My little hook tool from Dollar Tree has gone missing. I think I'm gonna have to replace it because I still can't find it. But we got that all cleaned up. I didn't end up using any hot glue, but feel free to use some hot glue or super glue gel if you want some additional adhesive. But the stickers on this was pretty good, and I just placed them where I thought it looked good. And I thought this cute little sign was sweet. The Hello Sunshine kind of reminds me of like spring and summer, but the colors, of course, are neutral. So I think you could really have it anytime. And I thought it was just a sweet little sign. I wanted to show you how I was displaying them together. I had a candle that I just had on hand. I also tried placing these all on the sign together, which is definitely an option. But anyways, just wanted to give you some ideas with that. That's going to do it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I've got some other videos linked here for you as well if you want to check out another DIY video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.